My ex refused the paternity test to prove that her daughter is mine because it was insulting, but she was hysterical when the court ordered a DNA test. Plus, all updates 15 years ago, I was 25 and was finishing my contract, and my then girlfriend of 3 years, Natalie, was acting increasingly strange. I returned from a 2-month assignment and was prepared to break up with Natalie. She came by and gave me the good news. She was pregnant. I asked how far along she was, and she said 5 weeks, so I broke it off with her and told her she needed to do better at math. She refused the breakup and insisted the baby was mine, so I told her the following: 1. Paternity test, and 2. If the child was mine, we could talk about financial support and custody arrangements. She refused the breakup and insisted the baby was mine, so I told her the following: 1. Paternity test, and 2. If the child was mine, we could talk about financial support and custody arrangements with lawyers. She refused both and told everyone we both knew that I was a deadbeat for knocking her up and leaving her. I told everyone I was on a 2-month assignment when she conceived, but a few insisted for the sake of decency I house her and give her limited support. I consulted a lawyer who made it very clear that any overt support could be seen as me taking responsibility. I told these friends that and almost dropped it, except for one guy who insisted charity couldn't be used as a legal cuddle. I told him if he believed that, he could house her himself. He agreed to drop it after that. When the child was born, she sent me pics with messages like, "Emma wants to know where daddy is," and refused to take any paternity tests. Her constantly showing up with that baby got to the point where I filed an RO. Fun fact, in my state, a permanent RO is not permanent. It is 2 years long. The only way to get it longer is if a violent crime is associated with it, and bugging someone with a baby that's not theirs is not a violent crime. So, my life for the last 14 years has been me renewing the RO every 2 years because once it clears, Natalie shows up again with my not child. I eventually found a nice girl and got married, and now I have a 9-year-old son, Henry. My wife Kim is well aware of Natalie and Emma. When the cycle begins again, I always say the same thing. 1. Paternity test. 2. Once paternity is proven, I will take custody and get financial support set up. Natalie always refuses and says both are insulting. Recently, the cycle started again, and Emma showed up first. She approached my son during a school event and said, "Hi, I'm your big sister Emma." Henry knows about stranger danger and runs away to a teacher. I had to have a very painful talk with the teachers and parents about my relationship with Emma and Natalie and how Emma was never my daughter. I even called her my daughter once or twice in the conversation. After the group disbanded, one of the mothers confronted me and said that while Natalie was in the wrong, telling this poor child I was her father, calling her my daughter, was mocking the situation. I kind of get where she's coming from, but I can't help this child, and making light of the 2-year cycles is the closest I can get to finding peace in the situation. Update. I got off the phone with my attorney. We have a preliminary hearing on the new RO this week. We will likely be issued a temporary RO, and then another hearing for the permanent RO after that. CPS is investigating Natalie and Emma's living situation. The teacher's report held a lot of weight, and my lawyer thinks this might be a way to end the madness now. In family court, there exists something like a temporary court-appointed guardian for minors, who is only a guardian for legal purposes and procedures. If the family court appoints such for Emma, we can ask this temporary guardian for the DNA test to put this to rest. I feel like I need to explain the relationship I had with Natalie all those years ago. When I returned from my 2-month assignment, I was already set on breaking up with her. Oh wait, I'm pregnant, would never make me marry her. I doubted she was pregnant for several weeks. During the last year of our relationship, several red flags appeared in her behavior, from demanding that I check in with her while at work to only letting me hang out with friends when she was present, with extreme jealousy if I ever seemed too friendly with women, including waitresses. I was in a line of work that demanded me to be away for long stints, which she hated but also kept me out of her reach. I realized that when I was away, I did not miss her. I was relieved to fall asleep after long work hours without thinking about her. When the pregnancy turned out to be real, I made it clear that with the paternity test, I would pay support, split custody, and be a co-parent and nothing more. She wanted me to be her husband, no questions asked, no test, just pure blind faith and devotion to her and the child. The test, she insisted, was insulting. On the advice of my attorney, the deal was no test, no contact. Court update. The preliminary hearing on the new RO went well. The judge ordered a DNA test to determine if Emma's claims were legitimate. Natalie looked hysterical at that, and her lawyer urged her to be silent. The temporary order is now in place, and a second hearing is scheduled for the permanent order in the upcoming weeks. The order covers immediate family on both sides, and as I've detailed in the past, Natalie is oddly good with following court orders. We have about 4 weeks before the definitive test results return, but I'm not too worried.